Hello, my name is Dr. Ruthie or Dr. Ruth Newstifter. I am a professional sexuality educator and I'm the author of The Nice Girl's Guide to Talking Dirty. I'm over at exploringintimacy.com, but thanks to the great folks at funwares.com, I'm here answering your questions about sex and relationships. And I want to read through to you a little bit of an email exchange I had with somebody about their question and talk about it a little bit more. So the question is, hi Dr. Ruthie, how are you? I have a question. What can I use instead of lube with a glass butt plug? To which I responded, I hate to return your question with another question, but I'm really curious and it will help me to answer your question better. Why not just use good old lube? Let me know and I'll use that information to give you the most helpful answer I can. And then the answer came back. I traveled a couple of days ago and they don't sell lube in the country I am now. So that is a really good question. And so I have no idea what this travel was about or where it was or anything. So, this may be completely inaccurate to this question, but I'm going to go ahead and say that this answer goes out to all of you who are out there in the armed forces wondering what to do with lube over in countries where it's really difficult to buy lubricants, if not impossible, and where you may not be able to get them in the mail. Goodness, thank you so much for your sacrifice, which comes in so many ways that people maybe don't anticipate or don't understand who aren't experiencing that sacrifice, including loss of lube. Okay. So my first thought is to, lube is better than no lube, and a really bad lube could be damaging to your body, so you definitely want to avoid those things. Lube is very important in a lot of ways. It can definitely keep a condom intact if you're doing anything that could have a risk factor, anything with other partners, or you need to cover a toy because you're not able to clean it, or you're sharing that toy and you're not cleaning it between, whatever the case may be. In order to discover what a good lube is, you have to make sure that it doesn't have ingredients in it that are going to be risky to your body. I don't think it would be possible to make a video listing all of the ingredients that could be in a liquid or a gel that are bad for your body, but when folks are in an area where lube is freely sold, that's often things like sugar, honey, low quality glycerin, which is kind of a type of sugar. It might be propylene glycol, depending on if you're sensitive to those things, or parabens, depending on if you're sensitive to those things. So being careful with stuff like that, knowing your body well, and knowing what makes for a bad lube. And I've done other videos on lube specifically, so take a look at those to learn more about some of those ingredients that I just listed off and whether they might be problematic for you. But if we get to a place where there's no lube available, it's helpful to remember that throughout time, most of humanity lived in a time when there was no bottled high-quality lube available, mass-produced. There was no such thing as a drugstore. It didn't sell that sort of stuff. And people made do in lots of different ways. So definitely sweat and spit are not a good replacement for lube, especially when it's due to anal play. So I'm really going to focus on anal play with that, since this question was about a glass butt plug. So why is that the case? Well, when it comes to anal play, those tissues are not self-lubricating. You may have heard other people say that their butt gets wet and they don't have to worry about it. That's just not the case. It just isn't lubricating in that sort of way. So we have to be really careful, and those tissues are really very delicate. So that's all the more reason to be careful. Now, if we're using a toy by ourselves, we have a little more freedom in picking out a lubricant because we don't have to worry about it being condom safe, because a glass toy can be readily cleaned. So hopefully this person is really cleaning that glass toy well with an antibacterial soap and water, making sure if it's glass or porcelain that you want to put a little towel in the bottom of the sink so that if you accidentally drop it while you're washing it, it doesn't chip, because if your glass chips, you just have to get rid of the whole thing. There's nothing you can do about that. So you don't have to worry about protection in the same way. You don't have to worry about keeping the condom in good shape. So in that case, we can look at oil-based things for anal lube. In that case, what I suggested to this person is they look for cooking or massage products. Cooking products will probably be the easiest to find. So things like olive oil can be really useful, or almond oil. In fact, in ye olde days, and sometimes some outdated folks today, gynecologists would recommend that people use an olive oil or even an almond oil for a lubricant because it was easy to find and would be safe and easy on the body. So we're looking for things that are perfume free and that are very basic in their ingredients. They're basically just the oil. So the case in point being that has been recommended in the past. It doesn't rinse out of your body. It isn't as self-cleaning out of your body as an oil-based lube would be, and it certainly can't be used with different forms of protection, but just for your glass butt plug, it'll be fine. I'm Dr. Ruthie. I hope this is helpful for you, and keep on using your butt toy, and thanks for whatever reason it is that you had to travel to a place where there's no lube and you couldn't bring it with you. I will see you in the next video.